In the gospel reading today, our Lord looks at his apostles, and as they have said, "Now we believe," he said, "Do you really?" And that's the question each one of us has to look at. How much do we believe? Because our Lord told his apostles that the time is coming when they would be scattered, each to his own home, and they would leave him alone. They couldn't understand that. It's like, no, we're here with you. We're committed to this. There's no question. Yeah, and then we all know what happened. As soon as there was trouble, they all fled. But he said that he told them this so they could be at peace. He told them this so that they didn't have to worry. He told them this so that they wouldn't do all of these things. They didn't understand, and they did them all. Now God has sent his mother to tell us what's going to happen. And we don't listen. Today we celebrate Our Lady of Fatima, the most important of the Marian apparitions of the 20th century. And I remember going to give a talk on Our Lady of Fatima. And I put this talk together as I was walking out of the house. This was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. As I was walking out of the house to give the talk, something inside said, just take the other talk with you. That is, the talk that was just, here's what Our Lady said at Fatima. Here's what Fatima is. Just the basic talk about Fatima. So I grabbed that one and I took them both, and I got there and I said to the people, well, here's the talk that I put together for tonight, but something just told me to take this one. So let's just take a vote. And how many want to know just about the basics, and how many want to know that? Almost 100% had never heard of Fatima and just wanted the basics. And I thought, nobody's heard of the messages of Fatima? People don't know. So God sent his mother to be able to tell us what we need to do. And we haven't done it. And in fact, what we see happening now is that in the hierarchy of the church, they are doing everything in their power to make sure that Our Lady's messages are not disseminated. They don't want them. Why? Well, when Pope Benedict was asked about the third secret of Fatima, he said, it's essentially the same as Akira. Like, yep. Bishop will be against bishop, and cardinal will be against cardinal. And anyone who has a devotion to Our Lady is going to be scorned. Isn't that where we are? And then she went on to say fire is going to fall from the sky. Talked about what was going to happen. Others who have read the message said it talks about the apostasy in the church that begins from the top. We are witnessing the apostasy on a material level as people are fleeing from the church in droves. We don't yet have a formal apostasy. Oh, they're getting it set up and they're doing quite a bang-up job of it, but it isn't here yet. But all of these things have been told to us so that we can be at peace. It saddens me the number of people who've told me over the years, don't tell me about this stuff, it just gets me all upset and so scared. Our Lady didn't come to scare anybody. She came to say, here's what's coming, get ready and be at peace. Stay faithful to Jesus, that's all you need to do. Yeah, that's all the apostles needed to do too. How did that work? They didn't understand, and they didn't listen, and they all ran away. So how about us? We have the words of our Lord. Now we have what Our Lady has told us. And she has told us, and she has told us, and she has told us. Go back to what she said in Quito, Ecuador, 400 years ago. She said this was for the end of the 20th century, and consequently the beginning of the 21st. You look at what she said at La Salette. You look at what she said at Fatima. You look at what she said at Akita. You can go through all of these Marian apparitions. They're all talking about the same stuff. They're talking about the time in which you and I are living right now. Things are coming, and they're not going to be pleasant. But we don't need to be afraid. If we needed to be worried, God wouldn't have sent his mother to let us know what's going on. He would have just let it all happen, and we would be totally off guard. He didn't do that. He sent his mom because both he and she love us, because they want us to be faithful, because they want us to be prepared. By prepared, as I keep saying, that doesn't mean go and fill your basement up with all kinds of stuff because there's trouble coming. It means get your soul prepared. It means make sure your prayer life is in good order, that you are always in the state of grace, and that your prayer life is sound. By that, I don't mean just saying the morning offering and saying that's good enough, that covers everything. I mean having that time set aside every day to pray. Not just saying prayers, which are very important. Our Lady asked and asked and asked and asked and asked that we would pray the rosary, so critically important. But it's that mental prayer, that silent interior prayer. We should be spending a minimum of a half an hour a day in that kind of prayer. That's where the peace is going to come from. That's where the insight is going to be. That's where we are going to be transformed, changed into the persons that God made us to be. So we have the rosary, which is our weapon, and it brings profound peace. But we have the sacraments, which I suspect if we're going to go into an apostasy, the sacraments are going to be taken away. And so ask yourself, what are you going to do? What if we can't get to Mass? What if we can't get to the sacraments? How are we going to handle that? What's your prayer life look like? That's how we're going to handle it. We need to be firm in prayer. This is going to be something different for us. But the grace will be there. This is Our Lady's time. This is why our Lord has sent his mother. We have our mom. She's a mom. She's going to take care of everything if we will just get out of the way. That's the key. Just let her be a mom. But she is a mama bear, too. The devil is going after her kids. And she's going to come out to protect them. So the best thing you can do is just stand behind her. And as I like to remind people, don't be like the insolent little kid who stands behind his mom and then sticks the head out and pops out and sticks his tongue out. No, don't do that. Just stay behind our Blessed Lady. Let her squish the head of the vile creature and just rejoice with her. You don't need to do anything else, but you need to be behind her. And that means pray and be faithful and strive to live a holy, virtuous life. That's what this is all about. And so no matter what happens, because we don't know what it's going to look like and how this is all going to work. But please go back and read what she said. It's not lengthy. It's not difficult. Look at what she said at Fatima. Look at what she said at Akita. Look at what she said in Quito, Ecuador. They called Our Lady of Good Success. Look at Lhasa. Look, all these things. Look at what she's telling us. And don't get scared, because what good is that going to do? Little kids, as long as their mom is there, they're okay. It's when mom's not there that they get worried. Our mom is with us. We have nothing to fear. God has got the whole thing under control. He's turned it over to his mom, and we know what's going to happen. We just don't know all the details about how it's going to happen. So we don't need to be worried, and we don't need to be afraid. We need to be faithful. We need to trust. In the midst of it, we need to learn from the apostles. Don't run away. That's what people are doing right now. They're running away. We need to be faithful. That's where the prayer life has to be, so that we aren't going to be pulled away, so that no matter what happens, our focus is going to be on Jesus, and we're going to remain faithful to him no matter what. That has to be the commitment. Not just, oh yeah, no matter what happens, I'll be faithful. No, we won't. Only if we are deep in prayer will we be able to be faithful. So that's the key. So we have this beautiful statue of Our Lady of Fatima right there in front of us. And it's not just a matter of looking at her and saying, isn't that beautiful? Because we know that underneath that beautiful gown, even though it's got her kind of barefoot there, she wears army boots. She's going to squish somebody's head. So look beyond the pretty. Look at what the mom says, not just what the mom looks like. Look at what she says. And any kid who knows anything knows that when mom speaks, there's usually a great deal of wisdom. And there is profound wisdom in what our mother has said. Listen to her. Pay attention and do what it is that she has asked. And then we can be at peace. Exactly what Jesus told us. That's why he has sent his mom, so that we don't need to be worried. We don't need to be upset. With her, we can remain faithful, and we can remain at peace.